For decades, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates were known mainly for oil, deserts, and conservative societies. Many experts once predicted that without oil, these countries would struggle to survive economically. However, a bold counter-prediction also existed that the Gulf states would reinvent themselves before oil lost its power. As 2026 approaches, it is becoming clear that this second prediction is coming true. Saudi Arabia S Vision 2030. S long-term development strategies were once criticized as overly ambitious dreams. Megacities, futuristic technologies, tourism revolutions, and economic diversification sounded unrealistic to many observers. But now, the results are visible, measurable, and accelerated. Saudi Arabia has undergone one of the fastest transformations in modern history. Under Vision 2030, the kingdom has reduced its dependence on oil by expanding sectors such as tourism, entertainment, mining, logistics, and technology. Cities that were once quiet now host global events, international concerts, sports tournaments, and business forums. Foreign investment, once hesitant, is flowing in at record levels. Projects like NEOM were initially mocked as science fiction. Today, they represent a new model of urban planning focused on renewable energy, AI-driven infrastructure, and sustainability. While NEOM is still under development, its scale alone has changed how the world views Saudi ambition. The prediction that Saudi Arabia would remain stuck in the past has clearly failed. The UAE, on the other hand, has already proven its model. Dubai and Abu Dhabi are now global hubs for finance, aviation, tourism, and digital business. The UAE diversified earlier than most oil-producing nations, and by 2026, it stands as evidence that a post-oil economy is possible. From hosting global expos to leading space missions, the UAE has consistently turned predictions into reality. One major prediction now coming true is the shift of global power influence toward the Gulf. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are no longer just regional players. They act as mediators in global conflicts, key partners in energy security, and strategic investors across Africa, Asia, and Europe. Their sovereign wealth funds control trillions of dollars and influence global markets. Another prediction becoming reality is the rise of the Gulf as a technology and innovation center. Both countries are heavily investing in artificial intelligence, fintech, biotechnology, and clean energy. Saudi Arabia aims to become a global AI hub, while the UAE has already appointed a Minister of Artificial Intelligence and integrated AI into governance. Social transformation is also part of this prediction. Saudi Arabia has expanded women's participation in the workforce, education, and leadership roles at an unprecedented pace. Cultural openness, tourism visas, and lifestyle changes have reshaped the country's image. While challenges remain, the direction is clear and irreversible. Critics still argue that these changes are fragile and dependent on government spending. However, the growing private sector, startup ecosystems, and foreign partnerships suggest otherwise. By 2026, non-oil revenues form a much larger share of national income than ever before. This alone confirms that the long-term prediction of economic collapse without oil was deeply flawed. Perhaps the most important prediction coming true is psychological. Saudi Arabia and the UAE no longer see themselves as developing nations catching up with the world. They see themselves as builders of the future. This mindset shift has fueled confidence, speed, and execution. In conclusion, the prediction that Saudi Arabia and the UAE would successfully transform before oil dominance fades is no longer a theory, it is happening. By 2026, the world is witnessing a new Middle East defined not by dependency, but by ambition, innovation, and global relevance. History will likely remember this period as the moment the Gulf rewrote its destiny.